Physical Fitness fans, family members, and friends. Here we are again, another at-home workout series coming to you, balance version number 2, okay? Last time we showed you a balance routine that was a little simple, but still challenging. Today we're gonna ramp that up a little bit, show you a little more progressive exercises that you can do at home for balance. And I can't stress this enough to add an important balance routine to your weekly or monthly fitness regimen, because the stronger your balance is, and again, we don't focus on this enough in the fitness world because we're usually working on unstable surfaces like the floor or the bench, but especially for people over 50 and in the senior demographic too, we lose that balance more as we age, and having a strong, stabilized body is important out in the real world, because when you hit these unstable surfaces, and they usually happen by surprise, like when you slip on ice, your body has to know how to react to this. And if you're not training in that environment, then your body's not going to know how to react, and you'll end up tearing something, pulling something, could set you back in your workout routine for months or years to come. So adding a balanced routine at least once or twice a week into your regimen is highly recommended, and this is a great workout to do that. So here we go, we're going to get started. 5 exercises to challenge your balance at home with basically little or no equipment. Now I'm going to highly recommend before we start this routine that if you're one of those people that is not confident enough in balancing, like either on one foot or doing some of these exercises that always work out near a wall, or grab a broomstick at home, something like this. This is the booyah stick, because that'll give you some added confidence. We don't want anybody tripping or falling at home doing these things. Also, you can also work out with a partner and they can spot you as well. So here we go, let's go into it. Exercise number 1. We're gonna stand on one foot. This is very similar to the exercise we did in the first video where we had you guys twisting and coming across. This is just gonna be a hand clap. We're gonna stand on that one foot. Always make sure when you're doing these singly balanced exercises, that foot is forward. You will find a lot of times that you like to angle that foot out for balance. That's not what we wanna do. We wanna work the foot in its proper alignment and range of motion, which is gonna be forward, okay? Making sure you're sitting up nice and straight with the core tight. Hands are out, nice wingspan. We're gonna bring both hands in together, okay? This is one option. I'm gonna show you a bunch of different variables. You're gonna do this for 1 minute straight. So again, to make this video short for you guys out there, we're not gonna do the full minute, but you can have a bunch of these different variations for this one exercise. So I call it the single leg hand clap. You can alternate to make it more challenging. You can alternate from this one as well, okay? Or you can come in together again. So do that for 1 minute each side. You will notice when you're doing this that foot immediately starts to burn, which is great. That's what we want. We want to work that fascia on the bottom of your foot, which can help you grip and give you better proprioception and balance, okay? So do that exercise 1 minute each side or each leg, okay? Now, if 1 minute is obviously too much for you, you can't handle it, you can obviously do 40 seconds, 30 seconds. And another thing, if that is too much for you, you can easily use the wall, lean against the wall, stand on one foot, and do that same motion with the wall supporting you as well until you get stronger, okay? So exercise number 2. Number 2 is gonna be a single leg deadlift. Now I do a lot of this specific exercise with my clients, and I have them either hold onto a wall or use the booyah stick. I'll do this once against the wall so you guys can see it. And again, if you want to challenge yourself, you can do this with weights. You can do this with rows. There's a lot of different options you can incorporate this single leg balance or this single leg deadlift exercise if your balance is stronger than most people. So we're going to start standing on that one foot again, toes straight, core tight, shoulders back, chin tucked. Always remember that. So as we lean forward, I like to keep this foot, this leg, nice and straight, knee locked, toe flexed in. Now I try to keep my hips nice and level while I'm doing this. I don't want to rotate my hip. I see a lot of this when I see people doing this deadlift exercise. They're doing it and they rotate out. You don't want to do that. That takes a lot of pressure off this right side that we're trying to focus on evenly with this lower back. So as I'm leaning forward, the toes flex, both legs are relatively straight. You can bend this knee a little bit. Hands come straight down. That helps you with your balance. You're going to get right into about this position. Feel that nice stretch in your hamstrings and your glutes, and then you're going to come back up. Okay, you just repeat that process, down and up. You do this for 1 minute each side. Now, if you want that added protection, you can use the wall, holding onto a wall while I'm doing this. See how my arm is kind of sliding up and down the wall as I'm doing this exercise. Or you can use a booyah or a broomstick while you're doing this as well. Make sure you keep those hips nice and square. Don't let that hip open up. Okay, toe flexed in, core tight. So 1 minute each side on that. Again, that's the single leg deadlift. Great for the hamstrings, great for the glutes, great for the lower back, especially for that hip mobility and stability. Next exercise, we're going to get into exercise number 3. It's going to be the single leg overhead reach. This again, anytime you go overhead in an unstable environment, challenges your core that much more, okay? So standing on one foot, we're going to start in that same position again. We're going to have these arms right here, except this time I'm going to reach over top. You can just let this other arm come down as you're doing it, okay? Let me just tuck my shirt in real quick. You guys want to see that? So again, we're going to reach over top, okay? And now this arm comes down, and you see how I just tapped my toe? You can tap your toe if you're losing your balance. And then as you go to the other side, this arm comes down and you're going to reach over this side, okay? So overhead reaches, standing on one foot, and again, 1 minute each side. But again, if this is too hard, you can go 30 seconds on each side, okay? Really good at, and again, if you need the booyah stick, okay? Really good at challenging the balance, especially in the feet and in the ankle stability. So reaching over, you can do one side at a time, holding on to something. Again, if I'm holding on to the wall, I'm holding on to the wall here, standing on one foot, reaching over, okay? Just enough to get that nice C bend right here on your side, right here, keeping the core tight. So again, if I'm doing this exercise, I start with both arms out, you reach to one side, hands come back to the center, reach to the other side. Okay, see how I'm kind of losing my balance here after doing this video so many times? Just tap if you need to tap, okay? But try to challenge yourself. If you don't feel confident, use the stick or use the wall, all right? So 30 to 60 seconds each side. Work your way up to 60 seconds. Fourth exercise, lateral step to a balance. This is a lot of times I want to train my clients in all different planes of motion. One of it is lateral, okay, so this is more of a dynamic balance exercise as opposed to a static. So you're going to step to the side, and then you're going to balance, knee up, toe flex. Step to the other side, balance, knee up, toe flexed, okay? Step, balance, step, balance. You're moving in a lateral plane of motion, the side-to-side motion, and as you're shifting your weight to this balance, that patella has to track lateral, medial, all over the place, and then it stabilizes, it balances. That's what you want. You don't want to do this exercise back and forth like this. You want to give your body enough time to stabilize itself, core tight, shoulders back, and then switch to the other foot. It's not, oh, I'm going to lose my balance, hurry up, put my foot down. So challenge yourself on this one. 1 minute total, until you can get to a point where you're nice and stable in your transitions, okay? So exercise number 4. Exercise number 5, we're gonna do heel-toe walks. This is one of my favorite exercises to do with all my clients to help, basically think of it as a sobriety line walk when the cops are making you, hopefully none of you have ever done that, but if you do, you know that they make you walk a straight line. So a lot of times this will challenge not only your ankle, your knee, and your hip stability, but it also challenges your core as well, all right? So you pick a line, any line on your floor, however much space you have at home, and you're gonna start with your foot nice and straight. You can look down if you want, but try to look ahead. Try to look ahead, not at your foot, because then that throws your balance off. So I'm looking ahead, trusting my feet are there. I'm gonna walk in a heel-toe line, okay? So you're keeping your core tight, you're just walking in a heel-toe line. Now, for my seniors, this might be challenging enough, or for my younger audience, maybe it's not. You can have your hands out if you want to help make this exercise a little bit easier. And if you want to make it more challenging, you can add weights. And when you go into this heel-toe, you can do things like single leg deadlift row. You can come forward to a balanced curl. You can add all types of things. You can do a single leg deadlift. You can come up to a lateral, then do a curl. But keeping that heel-toe stance each time okay? That's again if you want to make it a little more progressive. If you just want to keep it normal, even with a booyah stick or a broomstick, you're doing a heel toe, head looking forward, not looking down, okay? So head looking forward, trusting that your feet are there, keeping your core tight. You're doing this against the wall. Again, you can just kind of hold on to the wall, let your hand drag as you're doing the heel toe stance. So a lot of different options for that exercise and for most of these exercises as well. If you guys have any questions on any of these exercises, again, feel free to email me at trainfullcircle@gmail.com. I can assure you that I will give you every bit of detail on these exercises that you need if you want to make them harder or easier. And again, I can't stress this enough. Stay active, be safe, be fit, and hopefully all this stuff will end soon. In the meantime, we'll keep getting free content, at-home workouts to you guys. So subscribe to the channel, check out our other videos as well, and we'll see you soon.